Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday and welcome back. I hope you all enjoyed the Thanksgiving break. Today is Sunday, December 5th, 2021. I am Samantha, your host, and I'm stoked to be back in the MMTV room. We have all been working hard to create the content that you love and know. Starting off this week, we have the question of the week presented by Wesley. Following that, we have an original song performed by Christopher and his dad.
Alright, so my favorite thing to do in the winter would probably be either tubing or sledding. Tubing because when we were like in elementary school, I remember like we had like field trips to go to like Butternut or Catamount or whatever it was, and it would be really fun to just go tubing. That was actually my first time and my last time tubing. Also, I really like to sled because it requires no effort whatsoever, and you literally just go down a hill with snow and ice, and it's sick. Also, skiing's pretty cool, but skiing's also for like, you know, people that like have coordination and stuff, so I'm not that good at it. Also, I can't turn in skiing, and that's probably, oh, also I like drinking hot chocolate because it's yummy.
My favorite thing to do in the winter is play basketball, because it's basketball season, which is my favorite season of the year. I also like snowboarding sometimes when I don't have practice or games. It's very fun.
My favorite thing to do in the winter is skiing because it's fun to go down all the different slopes, and it's something to do during the cold times.
My favorite thing to do in the winter is hang out with friends. I really like enjoying my free time with my friends and have nice times and make memories.
Okay, my favorite thing to do in the winter would probably be go ice fishing. It's a very, at least for me, it's very enjoyable, and I can spend a lot of time outside and, you know, catch some nice fish at the same time. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My favorite thing to do in the winter is probably skiing. I love going really fast. It's really fun. It's just feeling the wind in your face. But yeah, doing tricks, doing jumps, it's all a lot of fun.
My favorite thing to do in the winter is play basketball.
My favorite thing to do in winter is sit inside and be warm, drink warm beverages, be comfy.
In the winter I really like skiing because it's a great way to get outside and be with friends, and I'm on the ski team.
Are you interested in being featured in this year's yearbook? If so, there are numerous QR codes placed on bulletin boards throughout the school which enables you to directly upload photos. This week, the little guy decides to have a photo shoot. Brought to you by Clementine and Quimby, let's check it out. Right after, Ashlyn shares this week's approaching music events. Once again, the library is sponsoring a snowflake making event. Students are able to come into the library and make their own snowflake to be displayed on the bulletin board. Next up, we have Ty with this week's student profile. Then following is Sarah with another segment of Fairy Tales of Old.
Liam Becker is a senior student who attends Monument Mountain Regional High School. In school, Liam is very academically inclined. He takes all honors and AP classes and prioritizes his schoolwork. Liam is also involved with the student government and is actually the current school president. Regarding athletics, Liam plays track in the spring and basketball in the winter. Outside of school, Liam works at Berkshire South 3 days a week. Berkshire South is a community center that has a gym, a weight room, and even a swimming pool, amongst other things. In his free time, you can find Liam working out at the gym or hanging out with his friends. As far as interests go, Liam is really interested in working out or lifting at the gym. Liam is also interested in business and in the world of finance. And as far as the future goes, Liam hopes to go to college and get his master's in something finance or business related.
Hello, and welcome to Fairy Tales of Old, where every week we discuss and introduce an old fairy tale that's not as well known, and review it as well as provide possible facts. Last week, we reviewed the Scottish tale Kate Crackernuts, the story of a young girl whose sister was cursed by their mother, so together they set off in search of a cure and ended up helping a young prince along the way. Now then, let's get into the story. This week, we'll be reviewing an Indian tale written by Vishnu Sharma in the 3rd century BCE. This story is known by the title, The Blue Jackal. In our beginning, we're introduced to a jackal who goes by many different names, but for this story, we'll call him Chandaraka. Chandaraka, being one of the lower predators in the forest, often finds himself being hungry but unable to find the food he needs. So, one day, he decides to travel into the local town in search for scraps. After a while of searching, a group of dogs find him and, angry at him intruding, began to chase and attack him. Chandaraka fled as fast as he could and hid in a vat of blue dye, being used to bleach clothes. The dogs, unable to find him, left, and when the jackal emerged from the vat, his fur was entirely blue. After some more searching for food, Chandaraka returned to the forest. All the animals, as soon as they saw him, turned and fled, for they did not recognize him with his strange color. Chandaraka saw this and thought up an idea that he believed would benefit him greatly, and so he said, "Don't run away. I am a creature sent by God himself. He assigned me to your forest because it appeared you have no leader, so I am here now to lead you. Should you all accept me, I will keep you well protected." All the animals heard this and accepted him into their community once again, but this time as their ruler. Chandaraka took it upon himself to then assign roles of a court. He made the lion his minister, the tiger his chamberlain, and the wolf his gatekeeper. After doing this, the other jackals in the forest began to act higher, seeing that their new leader was a jackal, so Chandaraka, feeling threatened, banished all the jackals from the forest, leaving him as the only one. For a long while, the 3 heads of his court would kill other animals and then bring them to Chandaraka to have his fill before he sent the scraps to the remaining animals who hadn't eaten yet. One day, while Chandaraka was holding court, he heard a group of jackals howling off in the distance. He missed his own pack, so he howled back in response. The other animals took notice of this and realized he was not God-sent, but instead just a plain jackal like the rest of them. For this, they killed him at once, and the moral of the story ends. He who abandons his own folk will perish. This is quite a sad tale, but I can't say Chandaraka did or did not deserve it, because he did, after all, force his own pack to leave the forest out of his own greed. It's very sad for everyone in the end, but it does hold a good lesson. I hope you enjoyed this week's story, and I'll see you next time on Fairy Tales of Old.
Mark your calendars. On this Wednesday, December 8th, there will be a virtual special school committee meeting discussing a possible new policy. The meeting will take place at 6 p.m. and participants will be recognized by school committee members for up to 3 minutes of speaking time each. The link should be in your email. For the news portion of our show, we have our current events segment with Julia, which will be followed by Caden with the national sports news. Don't miss this year's Great Barrington Holiday Stroll. We will be taking... Oh no, I messed up. We're good. Okay. Don't miss the Great Barrington Holiday Stroll. This year taking place on Saturday, December 11th between 3 and 8:30 p.m. There will be a multitude of activities for everyone to enjoy. Next up, we have Carmen, Heidi, and Adriana bringing us their segment on fashion, which is followed by Wilbur and Pedro's segment.
Nike es una marca muy reconocida en todo el mundo por ser de excelente calidad en ropa y calzado. Hay diferentes tamaños, diferentes colores, diferentes estilos, de buena calidad y son conocidos por sus buenos diseños. Son ampliamente reconocidos por todos y se comparan por su buena calidad. Hay tipos de pantalones Nike de todo tipo, de colores y tallas. Están repartidos por todo el mundo y son populares por sus combinaciones y diseños e accesorios. Nike fue creado el 25 de enero de 1964, una de las mayores proveedores de material deportivo del mundo. Y pusieron su primer tienda en 1966 en el BRS de Santa Mónica en un salón de belleza. En 1967, debido al rápido aumento de ventas, el BRS expandió sus operaciones por menor y distribución a la costa. En Massachusetts, el set de Washington, Oregon, Nike, diosa de la mitología. Nike Pro más Nike Jordan. En otras también fue dueño del hockey entre 1995 y 2008, anteriormente propiedad del. Además de la ropa deportiva y el equipo de fabricación, la compañía también es dueño de las tiendas de Nike, patrizado de muchos atletas de nivel alto y equipos deportivos.
de todo el mundo de los famosos el logo Just Do It llamado Swoosh, creado por la diseñadora gráfica Caroline Davidson.
Lo conveniente en la marca más maravillosa de las comparaciones deportivas.
Los mayas fueron un pueblo sedentario que se ubicaban geográficamente en el territorio del sur de México, Guatemala y zonas de América Central con una rica historia. De unos 3000 años, los antiguos mayas fueron una de las culturas mesoamericanas precolombinas más importantes. La historia maya se divide en 3 grandes periodos que son el periodo preclásico, periodo clásico y el periodo posclásico. Estos periodos abarcan los 2600 años, separados entre sí. El preclásico entre el siglo X a.C. y siglo III después de Cristo, clásico siglo III al X después de Cristo y posclásico del siglo X después de Cristo hasta la conquista. Periodo preclásico 1800 a.C. a 250 después de Cristo. En la etapa formativa, pequeñas comunidades procedentes del altiplano guatemalteco se asentaron en el Petén, fundando pequeñas poblaciones que crecieron pocos siglos antes de la era.
Did you know the MMRHS school store is having a blowout sale? Everything is 15% off, and it is the perfect gifts for friends, family members, and even yourself. The offer is good until December 9th while supplies last. Now it's time for the long-awaited review on Netflix's original Chilling Adventures of Sabrina series. Take it away, Mia and Dakota.
Three, two. Hi everyone and welcome back to TV Reviews. I'm Mia and this is Dakota, and today we will be reviewing Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
Sabrina is available on Netflix. It has 4 seasons. Each season has 8 to 11 episodes.
It has an 81% on Rotten Tomatoes. It has Kieran Shipka as Sabrina Spellman, Gavin Leatherwood as Nicholas Scratch, Ross Lynch as Harvey.
The show is about witches and humans. Sabrina is a witch in a normal high school, Baxter High, while also being in a witch school. The witches praise the Dark Lord whenever something happens and asks for forgiveness.
The Dark Lord is someone who's very important to the witches. He actually appears a few times on the show, and everyone is surprised whenever he appears.
In the first season, Sabrina, Spellman, and Harvey are dating. However, things occur that make it more difficult to stay together.
Sabrina was a normal teenager, but she always knew she was a witch. It was very hard for her to balance the life between high school and actually going to witch school, because she didn't start that until she became in high school. But Harvey found out she was a witch at the end of season 2, and it actually created mixed feelings for Harvey about Sabrina.
Sabrina is a part of a family that is full of witches. Ambrose Spellman, played by Chance Perdomo, Hilda, played by Lucy Davis, Zelda, played by Miranda Otto, and then Sabrina herself.
Yes. So there's huge love interest in this. So we all knew about Harvey and Sabrina. Well, after they broke up, Sabrina met this man named Nicholas Scratch, and they started dating, while Harvey actually started dating Sabrina's best friend, Roz. Now, Roz, it was kind of confusing because she got blind at first because she could see the future and stuff. So she had to become blind, and then finally her sight healed. The other romance was between Prudence and who is played by Tati Gabriel, and Ambrose Spellman. They started out not liking each other at all, basically hating each other, until they became closer and finally fell in love and actually moved around to go find the evil priest.
This show overall is magic-based, but it does have some real-life problems. You have the classic drama involving lying and a lot of relationship issues.
Overall, I would give it an 8 out of 10. Some parts of the show were really confusing because Sabrina had somewhat of a twin come in, but it would make the directors really hard, and it was really difficult to keep up. So and a lot of new things came in the show as well. The show could have been more structured, but entertainment. It was really entertaining otherwise.
Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Awesome, guys. Let's check out the lunches coming up this week. Starting off on Monday, we have options of hamburgers, cheeseburgers, and veggie burgers. Tuesday will be fish sticks. Wednesday is baked ziti, and then Thursday is barbecue pork riblet sandwiches. Finally, we end off the week on Friday with cheese pizza. Last but not least, we have Veer's segment on the top 10s, and then Sam shares his perspective on video games. So that closes out our show for today. It is always such a great way to start off the week. Thank you for tuning in and showing us continued support. As always, any suggestions may be sent to our email, monument.tv2021@gmail.com. Coming back to film after this past Thanksgiving break was very exciting, and we are so glad to be back. This has been Samantha from MMTV, signing off. Have a great week, everyone.